Hey everybody, what is going on? Welcome back to Year of the Batman. Today for the 1960s TV show, we're going over another three-parter. There's only two three-parters in season two, and this is the second one. This one is Penguin is a girl's best friend, Penguin sets a trend, and Penguin's disastrous end. So um, it's really weird. Of only the two three-parters in season two, both of them have Penguin as one of the two villains that are part of the team up. Both three parters do have a team up, and in the second episode of the team up, the two villains don't interact with each other at all. So it's if I had a nickel for every time the season two of the 1960s Batman had a three-parter where the villains don't interact with each other in the second episode and Penguin is the other villain, I'd have two nickels, which isn't a lot, but it's weird that it happened twice. um, so this one, he's paired up with Marcia, Queen of Diamonds. I wasn't a fan of her that much last time, but I think she was much better utilized in this. Mostly because she was not used that much, but what scenes she was used in, it worked. So the start of this, it was actually weird. Like it's never done a scene for the beginning before because usually a crime's being committed, it goes to Commissioner Gordon. He phones Batman and Robin, and they go down the Bat Poles. This time, a crime is being committed by Penguin, and Batman and Robin show up, and they like defeat him because they're like robbing an armored car. And as they're like beating up his crooks, Penguin's like, "Hey, hey, that's assault. You're assaulting. We're gonna sue the city for you being a jerk." And Batman's like, "What the hell are you talking about?" And Penguin he points at some cameras and he's like, "We're making a movie. You're just being a dick." And Batman's just like, "Oh, huh." Um, so that's the start of the scene. Like I said, really weird. Like it's not bad. It just kind of threw me off guard that like the opening scene isn't them going down the bat poles. But so anyway, they make a deal. Penguin's like, all right, I won't sue the city, but you got to be sign a contract to be part of my movie company. And once again, it just kind of doesn't even explain how Penguin just got out of jail or anything. It's just like, yeah, Penguin served his time. I'm like, how? What does he like? He, I swear, Penguin could just straight up shoot the president and just be like, ah, oh, Penguin, you scamp. We're 3 months in jail. Then you can go back to doing whatever. Um, but so Penguin he hires on Marcia, Queen of Diamonds, because she wants her to have a kissing scene with Batman to fall in love with him with her like love potion. So they're doing a kissing scene and they kiss like 100 times. Like Penguin's doing the take over and over and over again, and it just doesn't seem to be working. Later on, Bruce's lips are chapped, and it's because he's been kissing so much. And Batman, he said, "Oh well, it took all the mental fortitude I had, but I fought it off." So, yeah, I could tell she had that potion on her, but it wasn't doing the trick. And Marcia, she goes back to her aunt because her aunt's like a witch, and she was reformed and she was in a culinary school, but I guess that didn't last very long because now she's back in her witch aesthetic. And it was really funny. She went to visit her aunt to be like, "Hey, what the hell? This blood potion didn't work." And she gets there and she has the same big ass cauldron as before, and she sees like this like snake dragon thing in it, and she's like, "What the hell is that?" And she's like, "Oh yeah, I left one of my potions out overnight, and he came to life." So yeah, this is Mortimer. And I'm like, "Lady, you just created life. I don't know why you're taking this so lightly. Like, that's kind of a big deal. And this monster looks so creepy. I'm like, lady, what are you doing?" Um, so she's like out with her like Marcia, Queen of Diamonds. She's like, "Hey, make a better love potion." She's like, "Oh well, I need some old toads for that." Well, I have new toads, but no, we need old toads for that. So that's the reason why Marcia isn't in the second episode, really, because her and her aunt are literally at a pond looking for old toads, like the whole second episode. So, um, fast forward, it's the next scene. Her and Batman are about to go shoot scene 12, or no, page 12, and it's like a really, really provocative scene. Like, Marsha's outfit was literally going to be diamonds, and there was only three diamonds that big. So, boom, boom, and then down there, boom. And there was also a bath full of milk. Joker is on some devious shit. But Batman, he was like, all right, this is just too much. So he complains to like the Gotham City Decency Film Committee, and they shut that down. They're like, okay, no, she's literally just gonna wear like two pasties and a diamond on her thing. So no. Penguin's like, all right. Well, fuck you, Batman. We're gonna do scene 42, and that's the Batman and Robin fighting gladiator scene, and it's really funny. I guess because Batman and Robin, obviously they don't want to like reveal their identities when they're filming. They're just in their regular costumes, and this is set in like Roman times. So you see like the whole Roman aesthetic. Everyone's in that attire, and then it's just Batman and Robin. um, so Batman's like, "Hey, I think these guys are actually gonna fuck us up. So let's fight back." So a fight ensues, and Penguin, he uses a big flashlight to blind them, and a net's put over them, and they're put into a catapult to as punishment, and that's where the episode ends. It's like, will Batman and Robin get fucking launched to space? Tune in next time. And it's really funny. So Batman, he programs the Batmobile to like he uses like math and whatnot to figure out the trajectory where the land, so the Batmobile can like launch a net to catch him. But when the catapult launches, it's very obvious that they use dummies in the Batman and Robin costumes, but like the way Robin's whole body contorts is so funny for that split second, because you're like, well, Robin's dead immediately. So Batman and Robin start the next episode. They land safely. They're like, all right, well, we gotta at least pretend to get back into show business with them. We gotta know what the hell's going on. So they go back and ask Penguin for their jobs back. They're like, okay, listen, we'll forgive or forget. Just let us in. And Penguin's like, no, get the fuck out of here. I know you guys are on to me. I tried to kill you, for God's sake. Get the fuck out. So they go out, and Batman, he finds out that Penguin's listening to him, and he's like, oh, Robin, woe is me. I've got a touch of the showbiz. I just want to act and make millions for the Penguin. And Penguin's like, Jesus Christ, fine, I'll give him his job back. So he does that, and they're shooting another scene. Oh, wait. Before that, the scene where they're they're fighting all the goons and whatnot, that takes place in the museum, and you find out that some armor from the Middle Ages was stolen, and that's why Batman's like, all right, something's definitely up. Forgot about that part. Now, fast forward, they're doing a medieval scene in suits of armor, which isn't the suits of armor that Penguin stole. Um, but they, when filming, get caught up in like a giant ass electric magnet, and Penguin's like, "Hey, fuck you, bye." So Penguin and his like four minions that are in the armor that are stolen, they go to the like Gotham Army headquarters, and Penguin's like sweet talking some generals there. He's like, "Yeah, you got a good looking face, man. I'm gonna give you a contract to be part of my company." And they're like all gushed up from him, very very like wooed by Penguin and his charisma. And Penguin eventually, he gets to like this secret room where like a bunch of plans and whatnot are hidden, and he uses his like henchmen with the really good medieval armor to break in, and the army can't stop it because their bullets are useless against like the medieval armor. Um, so Batman and Robin, they show up on the scene still in their suits of armor because they're like, oh, we don't want to waste precious minutes taking this off. So they show up in the Batmobile, they chase Penguin in the van, and the van, it breaks down because like the armor that the thugs are wearing is too heavy. So Batman and Robin are chasing them on foot, and it gets this alleyway where Penguin like has a bunch of like steel barrels and he like rolls them down a hill toward Batman and Robin. And that knocks him out, and Penguin uses his umbrella to spray him real quick. And luckily for him, at that moment, a trash, like a trash collection thing is coming by, and he's like, the guy driving is like, "Hey, what the hell you got there?" And Penguin's like, scrap. And the guy's like, "All right, let me load it up for you then." And I'm like, "Sir, that those are two human-sized objects you're throwing away. Like those are clearly men in suits of armor, and you're just tossing them." So that's where the second episode ends because they're about to be crushed by like the hydraulic press that crushes like cars and whatnot. So it's like, will Batman and Robin get fucking squished by a civilian that doesn't know how to do his job? Find out next time. So, start of the next episode, you find out Batman and Robin created like this air pressure with like a pump that they use for the Batmobile tires, which is pretty clever. I didn't really see any other way they could get out of that, so making like a bubble to like counter the other pressure that makes sense. So they get out of there. They're like, all right, this is fucking ridiculous. We gotta take him down. This is nuts. So Penguin, it turns out the thing that he stole from the army were like not even like that valuable plans. They were like really old, outdated plans, and they're like, I don't know what the hell he's doing, but he's cooking up something. So turns out they want to steal gold bullion from like the Gotham City Mint. So Marcia and her aunt, they set up a distraction for like the guards. Marcia's doing like this exotic belly dance while the aunt is like playing the whatever that instrument's called. I don't know. I didn't look it up. So they also like induce some of like the love potion with I guess like with her dancing. It's not really explained how it was incorporated. So during that time, Penguin and his gang are like sneaking in all this equipment into the safe. And by the time it's all over with, when Marsha's down to like her last piece of clothing, they're like, "All right, get the heck out of here." So they trap themselves in the vault. During that time, some lizards were let out at Marsha's like hideout, and the citizens of Gotham City are reporting like these random lizards, and they're like, "Huh, Marsha's aunt was kind of into weird stuff that might be linked to her." So they find out where the lizards were coming from, and they find a henchman there who like kind of unknowingly spoiled where like they were going. So just as Penguin and everybody's getting into the vault, Batman and Robin show up, and they lock themselves in the vault, and they're there for like 3 days solid, and they're only alive because they packed in like stoves, packed in like these containers of fresh air, because the whole time they were there, they were using these outdated military plans to build a tank made of gold. So they drive through the vault in the tank of gold, and Batman and Robin are like, okay, the chase is on. So during the chase, Batman is like, hey, Robin, are you comfortable firing the Bazooka? And I'm like, Jesus Christ, why can Robin fly a plane, go up against these killers, fire a fucking bazooka? Like, he does all this, but for God's sake, he can't drive the Batmobile because he doesn't have his license. My God. Like, they do everything under the sun except let that boy drive a car. Drive a helicopter, no problem. Drive a car, out of the question. So, Robin, he literally just shoots one bazooka at the tracks and it completely goes kaput, and Penguin and Marcia surrender. So kind of a little anticlimactic, but kind of also funny for him to go through all that trouble just to get shot down once. But yeah, overall, I definitely like this three-parter a lot better than the other one. Having like the villains work more so together was definitely a stronger point. But yeah, overall, if I were to rate these like the string of episodes, probably a good 5 out of 7. I mean, it was a little better than average, I would say. So yeah, bye.